Agongo and Agriculture Ghana Limited.
So in total, these charges are 27 between all the three parties involved. And I'm going to run us by the joint charges and the separate charges here. Now, Dr. Opuni, as we know, Dr. Opuni together with Seidu Adongo and Agriculture Ghana Limited were charged with abetment of crime, defrauding by false pretenses, conspiracy to commit crime, willfully causing financial loss to the state, corruption of public officer, all in contravention of the Criminal and Other Offences Act 229 there. So this is what makes up the joint charges, which forms 27 charges in total. And the separate charges, Dr. Opuni separately has been found to have breached aspects of the Public Procurement Act when he procured a substance described as Litovitz fertilizer using public funds without satisfying the prescribed condition for single-source procurement as provided by the Public Procurement Act of 2003, Act 663. He's been accused of obtaining approval for single-source procurement without price quotations, as well as misrepresenting facts in order to obtain unfair advantage to Agricult. And that's specifically within the case of Dr. Opuni and what he has been sued for specifically. And then the separate charges, and this is where Agricult comes in. Seidu Adongo and Agriculture Ghana have been charged collectively for breaching the Anti-Money Laundering Act, Act 749, that he's accused of engaging in money laundering, manufacturing fertilizer without registration, selling misbranded fertilizer, and selling adulterated fertilizer contrary to the Plant and Fertilizer Act, Act 803. And so this is what the charges are, all totaling 27 of them. And we'll certainly be probing this further and show what, in fact, it means and what it would be reflecting in terms of Dr. Opuni and all the two other parties involved in this case, Alfred.
Well, thank you, Natalie, for summary for us. But you recall in January 2017 when Dr. Opuni was relieved of his position as Cocobod CEO. In February, since February 2017 till now, his assets and his accounts have been frozen by the Economic and Organized Crime Office, EOCO. They expected March 23, that's next week, to be in court. But in consultation with a legal practitioner, lawyer Martin Pebo, he explains that most of the second-degree felonies, including defrauding by false pretense, attracts a 25-year penalty if convicted. Now, lawyer Pebo has been explaining to TV3 the factors which were taken into consideration in preparing the charges against the former CEO of Cocobod, Dr. Stephen Opuni.
You would have the abatement. Also speaking, the abatement means that you're helping somebody to commit an offense. Okay, so let's say that the person is preparing to defraud another person, and then you with material. So let's say that maybe the person is about to make false representations, and then you help that person to really make them. So let's say he doesn't even know what to say, but you help him, you perfect the things that he should present. So let's say he wants to bid for that contract. He doesn't have the things, yet you would tell him that, yes, I could help you do this, knowing very well that at the end of the day, you want to commit an offense, but not to do genuine business. The examples abound. So in short, we would say that it means that the prosecution, in its estimation, I haven't seen, so it means that we can only credit them for now. We will presume that they know what they're doing and that from the evidence they have checked, they have sufficient evidence to mount such charges.
Okay. Most of the charges are second-degree felonies. What are the consequences? What goes with them?
Good. When you say second degree, it's a broad category, very broad, yes. So basically, for a lot of the second-degree felonies, it comes up to 25 years. Okay. But let's be specific. Let's say some of the charges that at least I heard, I haven't read all. For some of them that I heard, when you hear defrauding by false pretenses, that carries up to a maximum of 25 years of imprisonment if the person is convicted. Yes, when you say somebody has defrauded by false pretenses, it will range from a fine up to 25 years of detention. That's, of course, if you want the law, you're talking about Section 296 of Act 30. If you say abetting somebody to defraud by false pretenses, those ones also carry the same sentence as if the crime had been committed. So if the person is abetting the offense, usually in the law, he'll be punished as if he also committed it. Yes, so it will also go with up to 25 years. Oh, naturally, I'm sure he would come with his defense. You would not expect that for such a case, there would not be the other side. You know, they say every coin has two sides. So I think that's why it's meant to be a fair trial. So naturally, I can imagine that he would also mount a very spirited defense. Yes.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
Meanwhile, the co-chair of the Citizens Movement Against Corruption, Edem Senanu, says he is not surprised that the former CEO of Cocobod, Dr. Stephen Opuni, has been sued. He said the case will